What is up, my friends? You are very welcome along to our Burnley preview here on Anfield Agenda. Just a reminder, it is a 3 p.m. kickoff on Saturday at Anfield, which means I will be live from 1:45 to take you through the game. As always, we're going to go through, try our best to give you a starting 11 prediction, a score prediction. I'll give you a bit of a background on our opponents. We'll talk about the officials for the game, as well as our recent history against Burnley. We do want to know your thoughts on everything we go through in the video, so feel free to let me know in the comment section. Drop a like if you enjoy it, and of course we hope to see you here for the game. On the day we'll have our usual watch along, our match reaction and player ratings video, and we'll even have a cheeky late night agenda that night as well. Right, my friends, a lot to get through. Going to start off with the injury update. We know that we won't have Conor Bradley for the foreseeable future. We'd seen Endo was back, Gomez was back recently. We know that we've got we know our forward line is depleted. Mohamed Salah won't be back before this game, but he will be back for the next game, so that is good news. On top of that, we know that there is no situation improvement up top. Hugo Ekitike is, of course, back, but we are still without Alexander Isak for the foreseeable, so I don't think I've forgotten anybody else there. It is a bit of the walking wounded for now, but let's get stuck into the officials for the game, and then we'll have a little look at Burnley's history with the Reds and their own form. So the officials for the game, ladies and gentlemen, remember, as I said, it's a 3 p.m. kickoff on Saturday. The referee will be Mr. Andy Madley. His assistants will be Lee Betts and Mark Perry. Fourth official, Adam Herzig. VAR, Michael Salisbury. And VAR assistant, Dan Robothane. So now we know the officials. Now let's get into a little bit of a fact file on our opponents. So Liverpool have lost just one of their 9 Premier League home games against Burnley, winning 6 and drawing 2, though that defeat did come in January, in the only previous season they faced them as reigning champions, losing 1-0 in 2020-2021. Burnley have lost their last 6 Premier League games against Liverpool by an aggregate score of 12-1. And look, let's be honest, we could really do with the goal difference being worked on, so fingers crossed for a few goals in this one. Burnley have scored just 11 goals in 19 Premier League games against Liverpool, averaging 0.6 goals per game, averaging just fewer against Arsenal among sides they faced more than twice in 19 games, right? So that is a bit of a fact file. Now, let's look at the form and our recent history against them. So head-to-head, Premier League 25-26, it was Burnley 0, Liverpool 1. Premier League 23-24, Liverpool 3, Burnley 1. And then at Turf Moor, it was Burnley 0, Liverpool 2. Burnley's recent form coming in, as you can see, is a bit of a mixed bag. They did have an FA Cup victory over Millwall by 5-1. In the Premier League, they drew 2-2 at Manchester United. They were beaten by Brighton and Hove Albion at the Amex by 2-0. Next up, they were beaten at home by Newcastle by 3-1, and they had a 0-0 draw with Everton at Turf Moor as well. So that gives us a bit of a fact file of our opponents. We know what the form is from them coming into it. You don't need me to tell you Liverpool's form. We are unbeaten in 11 games, although it's a very unconvincing unbeaten in 11. It is still unbeaten in 11 nonetheless. Can I squeeze in unbeaten in 11 one more time? Because, we are unbeaten in 11. So let's get now, ladies and gentlemen, to my favourite part, which is going through the predicted 11. We'll start off, as we always like to do, with the goalkeeper and the centre-back. So, no real surprises here. It will be Alisson Becker in goal, and I believe Ibrahim Konate will come in to partner your captain, Mr. Virgil van Dijk. There's not really an option to change that. We could talk about bringing in Joe Gomez, but look, let's be honest, it's going to be those two at the centre-back positions and Alisson in goal. Now, full-back positions, this one, of course, there was a little bit more competition for, particularly on the left-hand side, so this is what I've gone for. On the right-hand side, Jeremy Frimpong, and I have to say, I'm still not convinced fully. As a right back with Frimpong, very pleased with what I've seen with him going forward and certainly moving further forward up the pitch, but still to see what he's really like at right back. This is hopefully going to be a game where we can utilise him a bit further forward anyway, try to pin Burnley in. So Frimpong at right back for me, and I think Milos Kerkez will be the one chosen to take the left-hand role. Again, I think at home you want to try pin Burnley in. They may play with a low block, which means we might have to move the ball quicker. And again, I think these two gents are the right ones for the job. So the back five, Alisson, Frimpong, Konate, Virgil, and Milos Kerkez. Now, we move into the deeper line two midfielders and the central midfielder ahead of them. this is what I've gone for here. You may be surprised to see one name left out of this team in a moment, but I'll talk you through it. So I've gone for Ryan Gravenberch and Alexis McAllister in the deeper line positions. I know we've seen Macca used further forward this season, but I don't think he's at his best up there for us. So Ryan Gravenberch for me deeper with Alexis McAllister. And then Florian Wirtz central. Now there is a world, of course, where Florian Wirtz could pop up on the left. The world where he could pop up on the right. But I like to start a central position anyway. And then he can wander around where he wants. Because he is one of the players, I think, that does have a bit more freedom in our squad to find pockets of space around the pitch. And against Burnley, they could be at a premium. So again, let's hope that Wirtz can work his magic. So that's my midfield. Now moving into the wider areas. And this is where you'll see probably one name you didn't expect. So on the left hand side, I've gone for Curtis Jones, and on the right hand side, Dominic Szoboszlai. Again, two reasons for this. One, if either of our fullbacks are marauding forward and we need somebody to slip back in, we know both of these gentlemen are capable of doing that and help shore up the system. Curtis Jones, for me, I've basically chosen ahead of Cody Gakpo because I haven't been pleased with what we've seen recently from Cody Gakpo. And again, I do need to have an option there on the bench if our attacker is unable to see out the full game. So for me, this is the midfield that I've gone with, and these are the attackers that I've gone with. Just one more to go, though. Who have I put through the centre as our striker? Well, we've seen him come off the bench, grab a goal and an assist. So why not return to Mr. Hugo Ekitike up top? And like I've said, then if Cody Gakpo does need to come on, or we need to adjust the system and shuffle people around, we have the ability to do it. So once again, ladies and gentlemen, my 11 to take on Burnley: Alisson Becker in goal, Jeremy Frimpong at right back, Milos Kerkez at left back, Ibrahim Konate and Virgil van Dijk are the centre backs. In midfield, Ryan Gravenberch and Alexis McAllister, then Dominic Szoboszlai, Florian Wirtz and Curtis Jones, all tucked in nicely behind Hugo Ekitike. Could say Federico Chiesa, but again, we know he's not going to play. I'd love to see some minutes for Rio Ngamoa, maybe from the bench in this one. But for me, that is an 11 that I'm comfortable to get the job done. A reminder that we do then have a trip over to take on Marseille midweek in the Champions League. And I can't say how big a game that one is. If we can come away from there with a victory, and then we can beat Karabakh at home, we will finish almost certainly in the top 8 in the Champions League, meaning we would avoid that extra round, an extra knockout set of games, and give the manager 2 less games to have to put the players' workload up. So for me, that's the 11. All that remains now, though, is the score prediction. We went a little bit back and forward on this one, to be honest, and ultimately this is what I've come up with. Liverpool to win the game by 3-1. I was flirting with a clean sheet, but, you know, we do give up some chances, so I'm not expecting it to be a straightforward evening for the Reds. Nothing ever really is, but I would take a 3-1 victory. So that is it. For me, ladies and gentlemen, that is our Burnley preview. A reminder again, we will be live from 1:45 p.m. to take you through the game, match reaction, player ratings video, and a late night agenda and a news video that night as well. Until then, thank you so much for taking the time to watch. Can't wait to catch up with you guys again, getting back to it live. It's been a few days since I've been off sick, so I appreciate your patience with that one as well. And I'll see you on Saturday. Much love. Bye-bye.